What's up, everybody? I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic. Got a new video for you today. Got a recap of last night's Showtime boxing fight between Adrien "The Problem" Broner and Jovanie Lobito Santiago. Broner was retired, but clearly he needs some cash. He has different issues going on. I'm not going to put that in the streets. You can Google that if you want to. So he's coming back after a 25-month layoff to fight. Man, forget it. Hey, this dude, he was fighting a tomato can pretty much to try to, a soft touch to try to see where he was at. And Adrien Broner has skill set. He has a nice jab. He still has speed. The main problem with AB, and has been for the last few years. Oh, first of all, he hasn't won a fight in 4 years, too, if y'all didn't know that. He hasn't won a fight in 4 years. Let that be known as well. So with this soft touch here, Adrien Broner just doesn't let his hands go. I'm not going to get into the scorecards and all that. Let's just talk about AB. He didn't make the 140-pound weight that this fight was supposed to be at. It ended up being at 147 at welterweight. And that was a last-minute thing done by Adrien Broner to make this fight happen. He looked in shape. It's not like he didn't look in shape. You can still see flashes of the speed and all that. He just doesn't let his hands go. He hasn't let his hands go in years. I don't know what to say. Like, to me, Santiago was the busier man, especially in the beginning of the fight. Adrien Broner throws one punch at a time, a jab, and that's it. He counters every once in a while, threw a few uppercuts. He's just not busy enough. I don't know who he can beat after this. They might feed him one more tomato can before they feed him to a young lion so they can get Broner out of here. And what's crazy is you think Broner's old. Broner's only 31 and he already looks washed. It's like he doesn't have any electricity left. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll just see it's one punch, that little one punch at a time, and he's talking reckless. It's just like, I can't wait till he's done. Like, he can't duck any of these good fighters for a long period of time, and they're gonna make their name off of Adrien Broner. Unless we see some dramatic improvements from Adrien Broner, he's gonna lose his next big fight, guaranteed, and it might be ugly because he doesn't let his hands go. He has solid defense. His reflexes still look good. It's just like, even in this fight, this guy was way busier than Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner picked it up the last half of the fight, but nobody really thought he won this fight. He won, but he didn't win this fight. Nobody was like, oh yeah, AB back. You won't see that on Twitter. You won't see that anywhere. He is washed. This was hard to watch. This was a snooze fest. I mean, Santiago's okay, but he's nothing more than a glorified sparring partner. Let's just keep it real. None of this, PC stuff. This was a tomato can that was supposed to make Adrien Broner look good, and he made him look exactly what we think Adrien Broner is, washed. I hope that Adrien Broner can make the money he needs to pay off his bills and get his family straight and all that. But after that, hang him up. Unless you change the way you fight dramatically, the clock is ticking. It is literally ticking until he's out of here for good. Because over the last course of all his fights, I mean, the Sean Porters, the Pacquiao's, he doesn't let his hands go. It's not like he's getting beat up in there, because he has good defense, but something is going on with him where he can't throw combinations anymore like that. He'll do it once or twice. He might throw combinations less than 10 times a fight. He just can't do it. I don't know what happened, what's going on with him, but he can't let his hands go anymore. Santiago, I feel bad for you because you fought a good fight. You were busy the whole fight, and I felt like you should have won this fight. What I will say is Broner landed the cleaner shots in this fight and the more eye-catching punches and things of that nature, but those are few and far in between. I mean, I don't know if Broner had too many rounds where he even landed 20 punches. I mean, this was hard to watch because AB is like the guy you love to hate. You know what I'm saying? You want to see him lose. You want to see him win, whatever the case may be. But at least be entertaining. it's like watching him now is cringeworthy. Then his his post fight interviews are awful. Oh, just so hood. Just the lack of intelligence. Just the. And he's fighting at 140. Somebody gonna really work AB at 140. That's a guarantee. Unless he learns to let his hands go, he's gonna be short work for somebody, because it's just enough is enough with AB. He's 31, but he's an old 31. He's been fighting since he was like 6 or 7, so that's a lot of wear and tear in the body. Plus what he does outside of the ring, we all know what that is. No need to repeat all that, but you guys know how Adrien Broner gives it up in the streets. This is the Adrien Broner that you will see. What you saw against Santiago in the win-loss, he won but he actually lost, is what he is. 1-2 punches at a time, good defense. To me, like any good fighter, you should fight Broner for the name, and you don't have to worry about getting hurt. He's not gonna let his hands go. It'd be glorified sparring with an athletic fighter. That's what you should look at when you fight Broner. Just athletic sparring. He's not gonna hurt you. He ain't gonna let his hands go enough to hurt you. He should have got this tomato can out of here. He couldn't. The tomato can won. You rewatch that fight and you tell me you think Broner won, you're wilding a little bit. If anything, it was a draw. Broner didn't win this fight. He didn't get busy for him until later on, maybe rounds. If you want to say round 6, I guess you can say round 6 on, but and then he started picking up a little more around round 8, where he started throwing a few combinations and some body shots, and you could see that he has it. Like, he has the IQ in the ring as far as seeing things, and he just can't let his hands go. He just can't. At the end of the day, boxing is about landing punches. Broner can land punches, but he can't land volume. And until that gets fixed, with all that, you know what? Just forget it. Adrien Broner is a gatekeeper. That's all. He's a name gatekeeper. He's not about to beat nobody good, but he's a good enough name for somebody good to want to fight him, because it's a good check, and you know it's pay-per-view status, and it is going to up your resume. He's a 4-division champion. He's done this thing in the past, but that's a long time ago. That Adrien Broner is gone, long gone. What we see now is a 1-2 punch fighter with good defense and a counter puncher. That's it. Don't expect AB to get better over these next few fights before they send him to a wolf. Don't expect that you're going to see dramatic improvement just because he was late, but because he was off for 2 years. That was the same way he was fighting before he took the 2 years off. So I don't want to hear that. It ain't going to get no better. This is who he is. A counter puncher that lets his hands go occasionally, and that's not enough. Santiago, I'm sorry you got robbed, but you won this fight. Anybody saying differently, they're a liar. I'm not going to make this too long. I just want to give my review because, you know, I used to like AB back in the day. Flashy, letting his hands go, all them pretty combinations. And to see him like this now is kind of hard to watch. You know what I'm saying? It really is hard to watch. It's just really hard to watch. So we'll see what's next for Adrien Broner. I'm glad he got a nice check. Hopefully he can take care of some of the stuff he got going on outside the ring and maybe get a couple more checks to kind of get himself ahead. But as far as a championship level fighter, that's gone. Don't expect to see that. That's over with. So this is just my review of last night's fight between Adrien Broner and Jovanie Santiago on Showtime Boxing. And whatever. Sorry, Jovanie, you did win, but they gotta give it to Broner because he's high profile and they can get some checks off of him, and he need the check. So I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic. This is just my review of Showtime. My bad. A Showtime Boxing welterweight, whatever you want to call it, fight last night between Adrien Broner and Jovanie Santiago. I don't know where we go from here with Broner, man. I'm gone, man.